Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of Bookworthy. Today is Thursday, November 17th, 2022. Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Chris Rini. I am the artist and creator, publisher, author, no, barely an author, editor, I'll go editor, of a book series called The Fine Art of Violence. Next issue coming out spring 2023. The Fine Art of Violence is a collection of art and essays that chronicles each year in mixed martial arts. So, in this edition, we will be chatting about, guess what's coming up, what's going on in life. I'm out here in Denmark, moved here from New York City a couple months ago, and just kind of stumbling through dad life this week. It's been a fun one. My youngest, my son, he kind of made a friend at school, and I've been trying to organize a visit. Actually, the other parents, they hosted him the other night, about a little over a week ago, and that was nice. I wanted to return the favor, so I've been chatting back and forth with them, and we agreed Wednesday, I'll pick your kid up from school. I'll pick him and her up from school, we'll go play, and I'll bring her home, and give them some food and let them do their thing. That'll be great. They're like, all right, great. So yesterday, I'm at home, I'm painting. I'm working on this painting right here, this Erin Blanchfield versus Molly McCann. Really super cool fight. Great performance, great grappling sequences. Anyway, I was on a roll. I was feeling good, and I get a text. I decided I was going to pick my kids up late from school because I have the option. I could get them as early as 2, as late as 5. I never go at 2, and I never go at 5. But I was like, I'm gonna go late. I'm doing well today, and let me just haul ass and get some work done. And I get a text from the mom of this kid that's kind of supposed to come to my house. She's like, so what time should I pick her up? And I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. It's like, about 7 o'clock. She's, oh great. I get up and I'm like, oh shit. I usually go out and I get like a little baked good, some bread or something like that for my kids when I pick them up. I hadn't done any of that. And I always tell myself this, and it kills me that this is like, I think it's a Conor McGregor quote or a paraphrase, it's, what is it? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? So I try not to rush anymore. Now that I'm a gentleman of a certain age, I don't like to rush. It's not healthy. So I was like, all right, I put all my stuff down, and I think I cleaned my brushes, and I just went out the door. I have my cargo bike. I got the battery for it because once I got 2 kids in there, I like to have a battery in there. My older kid, my daughter, she rides a bike to and from school, so that's nice. We're about 2 kilometers away. What is that in miles? I still don't know, but Google Maps says it's about 2 kilometers away. So I go, and it's so good that I didn't rush. So good that I just kind of played it cool. I showed up. The kids were all in a great mood. They were already having a good time together. So I was like, oh, great. I planned to do all of this. I planned to come at this time. Got my 2 kids and my son's friend and brought them home. And they went crazy, as kids do. They're 6, 7 years old. And, I had also done nothing in terms of like planning food, and feeding my own kids is a pain in the ass. And feeding someone else's kid is just like walking through a field of landmines. But it was fine. Plain pasta with some salt on it. I had some Parmesan cheese, grated it, and the kids are happy. They have this stuff called pulsa here, which is, they call it sausage. It looks like pigs in a blanket to me. But I always bake that and have some of that laying around the house. So she ate a couple of those and some plain pasta and some raw carrot sticks, and she was a happy kid. That was nice. Her mom came around a little after 7 and gave her a piece of birthday cake. My daughter just turned 8, and It's wild. It's wild having to be friends. Not having to be friends, especially here in Denmark, man. People aren't trying to be friends. They are not. But just navigating the social world, as an adult, you got to meet other adults, meet their kids, and all that stuff. And then to do it in another country is pretty wild. So that's where I am. I've been having a good time painting. Really loving this Blanchfield piece. And as you can see behind me, poor Molly McCann screaming her head off. And I'm just really happy with the painterliness of this whole piece. So good on me. I gotta have 12 pieces done real soon. This is my 4th. I have 6 squares and 6 horizontal, 6 rectangle pieces. So to cross the halfway mark of the squares, it's a psychological achievement already. Oh, let's see, the MMA world. We're in that weird week right after a big pay-per-view where things went really well. A lot of cool stuff happened. A lot of interesting, narratives are being formed. I gave my opinions last Tuesday, 2 days ago, about I don't think there should be a Izzy immediate rematch. I see Dustin Poirier getting a little bit of news coverage. Happy for him, but I don't know. These things all they inevitably, you get that after birthday kind of thing. Like, now what? Huh? Who? What? So I'm looking at the schedule, and it turns out there are 3. Oh my gosh, there are 4 events. There's like a double event for ONE FC. There's Bellator and UFC. So I'm going to check in with you because this is book worthy, and I'm going to tell you about which fights I'm going to keep an eye on, and which fights I think might end up in the next issue, next issue of volume of The Fine Art of Violence. And if you go over to my Patreon page, there's a link down in the description. You can support the studio for as little as $1 a month, and you will get a copy of the book. For $1 a month, you get a digital copy of $5, $6. I can never remember that next tier. You're going to get a physical copy. And for $10 a month, you will get a piece of artwork with your book. I'm working on these laser cut engravings of my drawings. And if things go well, right now, during this video, you will be seeing one of these laser cut engravings in front of your face. Right? Let's see. So, this weekend, on November 18th, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday over here in Denny's, Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson. Very, very excited to see this fight. Nemkov, kind of a thrilling, classic Russian killer, in the mold of Fedor, by that, I'm not trying to, get international politics on you. I meant that in the MMA context. I'm a fan of the Corey Anderson redemption story. He was doing great. He was doing great in the fight. Maybe he'll do great in this fight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope the guy kind of sees a full circle. He was a cast-off. The UFC just treated him badly, or not even badly, just disregarded him. And I'm pulling for the guy to go out and get that bag. He's a great fighter. I think he has wins against Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira. Come on, the guy should be in the top. He should be in the top org. All right. Anyway, then we have. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. That's going in the book, no matter what, because I've already drawn their first fight that ended in the accidental headbutt. So this will kind of, what's the word? Cross the T, dot the I, tie up a loose end, whatever idiom you need, it's there. Then we have Patricky Pitbull versus Usman Nurmagomedov. I think Nurmagomedov is 15-0. This one, I believe, is for the lightweight title. This is it. This is big stuff. You got that. You got the XYZ name. It's really VWXYZ, Volkswagen XYZ. Once you got one of those names, you're commanding some attention in the MMA world. So those are the two fights from Bellator I'm gonna watch probably after the fact. Then there's one on Prime Video. I'm gonna watch some of this. Let me give you a little aside here. A member of the MMA media came out to Denmark, and I was like, "Oh, come hang out in Roskilde." So he did, and we were chatting about life, about what it is to cover the sport. And I really, really appreciate that he just straight up was like, "So do you watch every fight and every event?" I was like, hell no, I don't. And that's it. There was a time when I did. I completely enjoyed it. There was a time I watched. Yeah, I would watch entire events. Sometimes I would get together with people and do it. I had a digital friend, somebody I knew through the forums and my artwork. And sometimes we would maybe have a Skype going, and we'd just kind of shoot the shit and watch the fights together, which would be really funny if one of us was on a time delay, like their stream was like a couple seconds off. You'd be like, "Oh shit!" You'd be like, "Don't say anything. It'll happen to me soon." That was really funny. But those days are over, man. I mean, I have a wife and kids, and, my column with Bloody Elbow makes me have to focus on different types of stories. And then the books that I make me focus on much more on specific types of fights, and then combine that with the raw number of fights that happen every week. No, I don't. I can't. I could, but I would have to sacrifice something else that's equally important. So I am curious, and this is the kind of what's it called? Fight where I'll probably check to see who had a great performance before I decide if I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be very curious about Cosmo Alexandre. That's the guy who nuked Sage Northcutt 3 years ago, broke his face in a dozen places, and hasn't fought since. Although I believe he's had a Muay Thai fight, so he hasn't fought in for one. He hasn't had an MMA fight in a couple of years, but that was a curious one. So that story alone. And then one has another event, which will feature Yushin Okami and All Latan Sang, and Shinya Aoki, and Sohee Ham. All right, so there's a couple names out there. I'll see if I can catch that. I like seeing what's going on over at One. I enjoy their product. I enjoy their fights. I know that they're not the most reputable company, and Sitya Tong is. I'm sorry, not Sitya. Yeah, Chatri is. He's a divisive figure, and I know that some of the people at the site where I work definitely go head to head with him, but. It's the same as the UFC. I care about the fighters. I care about the fights. It doesn't matter the organization. UFC Fight Night. Derek Lewis fights a guy named Sergi again. That's what they should have called this event. This has been the decline of Derek Lewis year. This is the year where finally he's starting to lose to guys who... he used to be the kind of guy who, did great, and then against top-tier opponents, you would see his ceiling. And I feel like now other people are making their name on him. He got taken out by... if he's fighting Sergey Spivak, that means he just lost to Sergey Pavlovich. And that really caught my eye. I feel for Derek, possibly one of the most top 10 most charismatic fighters I've seen, or at least top 10 most charismatic fighters active today. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a day. Ion Kutalaba, I gotta admit, I'll watch that guy fight any day. He is such a piece of work, the Moldovan maniac. Muslim Salikov, all right, he's on a card. That's cool. It's a brighter spot than a dimmer one. But probably the most interesting person on this card is Jack Della Maddalena. You know, this is a guy who I think he's got 2 straight wins this year. I think this is his 3rd. He's going in the book probably. I guess if he gets nuked by Danny Roberts, I'll have to think twice about it. But if that guy scores 3 wins in 1 year with his 1940s professional boxer face, you know, it's all like you know. He's a cool, interesting person. The man can box. The man can fight. That's where we are. So I've given you my picks for who I care about, and in line with the my gambling strategy, I'm gonna pause the video, come right back with a coin, and I'm gonna make my picks right now. All right, thanks for waiting. We got a let's see, we have a Danish 20 kroner piece here, and we have the looks like the Queen Margaret on one side, and some sort of coat of arms on the other, that like something that looks like seahorses. So let's do the main card here. We got heads for Derek Lewis, tails for Sergey Spivak. So my personal rule for flipping a coin is that it has to flip. I have to catch it and slap it on. Heads. I'm going with Derek Lewis. Boom. There we go. All right. It's got blue paint all over myself. Damn it. All right. Go put a mark next to Big D. Boom. Tails. Got Mr. Kennedy going to take on Ion Cutelaba, and Chase Sherman versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Chase Sherman with the nod. Then we have Muslim Salikov versus Andre Fiallo. Andre Fiallo. Oof. Then we have Cody Brundage and Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira. I'm literally marking my betting sheet with the paint stuck to my hand. What a life. And then we have Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. Oh, Danny Roberts. Oh. I can't mess with the coin. You can't mess with the coin. Let me see if I can wipe my hand off while we're chatting. So that's where we are. We got a big weekend of fights, even though it's a little bit of a kind of crazy hodgepodge. Let's call it a hodgepodge. You know, I think Bellator has the best not the best. Bellator has the most actual stakes in front of us. You know, that's pretty cool that a Nurmagomedov's out there. They got $1 million check on the line for Corey Anderson and Vadim Nemkov, and also the narrative of Corey's departure from the UFC. I'd love to see him put a bow on that. The guy has done really well. Anyway, I'm gearing up for a possible Thanksgiving dinner with an old college friend who lives out here in Denmark now. I think we might go visit her. That's like about 90-minute train ride away. All in all, we'll see how that goes. But I feel like we gotta put the time in. We gotta visit friends when there's the opportunity, and we gotta, you gotta take the kids out and go do some different stuff so they could see that. Me, I'm like, send them to school. Let me get back in the studio. Let me work. But that's not the way you live. You gotta live a full, well-rounded life. I got one last really cool thing to share with you. I'm going to do a piece on Brian Barberena in the book because he beat Matt Brown and Robbie Lawler this year. He's got another fight coming up on December 3rd. I don't know if it's been announced, so I won't say who he's fighting, but it is the completion of an 8-year-long quest for him. And I don't know, he was a really nice guy. We had a great chat, and I'm really looking forward to doing some work about him. So take care of yourself. I would encourage you to check out the links down below. Follow me on Twitter at RainyMMA. Join the Patreon. Get a book. You can get some old books if you want over at chrisreaney.com. Or if you want to support the studio, you can go over to cottonbureau.com, Chris-Reaney. The links are down below. And get yourself a Combat Wombat shirt or some other kind of weird shirt I've made based on MMA Squared cartoons. Thanks for your time. I'll be back on Tuesday. Enjoy the weekend. See you later.